What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So 2 episodes ago we unlocked the museum, we collected our first demonstrator loco, which is actually the very first demonstrator loco that we found, which is the DH4 from Harbour, took it back to City South and we've started the restoration project. In the meantime we've also obviously unlocked the DH4 license, which we're now utilising, and we will be driving the DH4 along with the flatbed to Machine Factory in town. Along the way we've come here to Steel Mill with a job which we've now dropped off, and we are going to be heading to Machine Factory in town. We're going to take a look and see if there's any other jobs that we can take with us, but for now guys, please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright then, so let's have a look at the jobs coming out of here. So yeah, we grabbed an additional job coming out of Harbour. Well actually, we went from Harbour with the DH4, we pulled it to City South, and then we found a job at City South which we've brought up to Steel Mill, and that's paid basically for this trip in terms of fuel and wear and tear and all that type of stuff. It's also paid for the part that we needed to buy for the DH4, so that's all nicely done. But what I'd like is to make some more money. So coming out of Steel Mill, we'd like to travel obviously to Machine Factory to pick up that part for the DH4, but I want to make some money along the way. So as we run out of here with the flatbed, we're going to either go this way up to Machine Factory or this way, and we want to try and find a job that's going to kind of complement that run. We do have 4 locomotives found, only 1 delivered to City South so far to the Museum for Restoration. We do have also the SO60 at City West. We've got the license for that. We could technically pull that. We've got the DE6 here at Coal Power Plant. We don't have the license for that yet. We'll probably leave that to last. And then we've got the DE2 here up at Iron Ore Mine West. So we need a job really that, as I said, complements our run here. Now let's have a look over here. We've got runs to Harbour. We've got shunting jobs here at Steel Mill. Not too interested in those. I think that'll be the offload that we brought in. This is an unload as well. And then we've got Harbour runs, a load going to Harbour, another Harbour, and then we've got a logistical haul at Iron Ore Mine West. Now I think that's the only job really that's going to appeal to us at all here, because yeah, I mean it's only 72 tonnes, which is great, but it's also the only one that's really anywhere in our sort of direction. We're not under any time constraint to get to Machine Factory in town, but we could pass through Machine Factory in town on our way to Iron Ore Mine West. So I would say go this way up here, and then up to Iron Ore Mine West. I mean, the other route is to go all the way up this way around. I mean, that's longer. I mean, we could also go out of here, head up this way, through Forestry Central, round this way, and this way. I quite like that run, especially when you don't have much weight. That hill there, it's a bit of a nightmare, but I think it'd be fun with not much weight on. This is a commonly used route that I use a lot, so maybe going this way could be fun and different, although we have done it a couple of times still. Now, where are these cars? So 29, let's hop up on our loco and see if we can spot them here in the B yard. Looks like it's probably those there. We've got empty cars and it is those hoppers. Let's go take a look and see. We'll dash down this end. The only thing is obviously our loco's pointing in the wrong direction. It's facing the opposite direction. So let's have a look. 29, yeah. So it's these 3 here. So if these cars hadn't been here, I would have probably kind of come in from this end, reversed in, connected up, and then pushed them back out that way. As it stands, I'm probably going to turn the loco around on the turntable and come in from this direction, connect up, and then head off. It is a question of which is the best use of time. The other thing is we could pull these cars out from this end and stick them somewhere else and then slot ourselves in. I think turning the loco around is probably the better option here. So let's do that, although it is a bit of a trek up there. Right, are we still connected up? I'm assuming we are, and disconnected here. Yes, right. Let's hop up then. We'll fire her up. Get her going. Let's get the parking brake released. Get her brakes off. Get going forward. Right, so we'll head up to the switch. We'll reverse into A yard. Get her on the turntable. And get her turned round. Just make sure the remote is still connected up. Yeah. But yeah, plenty of acceleration out of this baby. And yeah, we've used about a quarter tank of fuel. She's pretty heavy on the fuel, like the DH4. And obviously prone to overheating. Not overeating. Right. Brakes. Reverse. Reversing up. Right, so as far as steel mill goes, we're now coming this way. These switches need to be set for us to go into the turntable, which they are now. We could technically reverse in and get ourselves a bit more fuel, get ourselves a refuel. Yeah, we could do that as well. Obviously, it's time consuming. It could be worth it though. It'd save us refueling elsewhere. Let's go take a quick look, see what's going to be going on down here. So we're going to come along this way, around here, and obviously this is the starting point for all journeys, really. I tell you what, let's get ourselves in there quickly for a refuel. We do have a DE6. Comes our DH4. Won't put any more speed on than this. Try not to wreck our flatbed as well while we're on. Hopefully, yeah, that should reach nicely. Get some fuel in here. We'll leave her running. It will mean that we won't be at the top fully, but there we go. Diesel's in, oil in. We'll just do a quick repair job, and we see there 5,000, which is done. So yeah. Happy with that, really. Happy we've got that done. Really didn't take 2 seconds at all. We'll get it going forward. It's a lovely little pit stop, that, actually. And yeah, absolutely no time wasted at all, really, there. For some reason the lights are still on. I think it's because tiny bit of train brake on there as well. So the lights, I've noticed this. The lights change direction when you use the remote, but not necessarily when you're using the train controls. So I think it's because the remote control is obviously electrically connected. Oh, I thought I saw another demonstrator there. Looks like a mishmash. Right, let's back her up anyway. Alright, there we go. Been meaning to go up and see what that is at some point. Don't know whether it's always been there. Something that's been recently added in, but looks mysterious, doesn't it? So that's a good question for you guys. Is this all going to fit on here? That isn't my question. Oh yeah, it is. So the question is there any interesting landmarks that you've seen added to the game, or things of particular interest that are just weird and quirky that you've seen around the map? Let me know in the comment section, guys. I'd love to hear from you. There she goes. We'll be able to see, obviously, when we get in here now that all the gauges are showing nice and full. Everything's looking good. And yeah, I love pulling this flatbed, obviously for the duration of this playthrough. We'll be utilising either the flatbed or the rail car in order to pick up parts from Machine Factory in town. I don't want to rush too much through the demonstrators though, so once we unlock the DH4, oh sorry, once we actually restore the DH4, I think it'll be fun to utilise that for a decent amount of time, probably running more than one DH4 at a time. Right, so I'm going to go down the other end, then reverse in to B8S to pick up those cars. Wow, she is rapid. Probably used about half a tank of fuel there. Again, more scrap there. Hard to not see that as being a potential loco. Keep our eyes open. Don't know whether there's any other spawn points around there. In my first playthrough on standard difficulty, found two locomotives and they were both kind of behind those sheds. Oh, they're absolutely flown past there, but there we go. Alright, I'll get myself reversed in here and get connected up, and then we'll go and validate the order and head out. I will set my switches and stuff. There we go. Right. Let's get this in. Where's the parking brake? It's probably at the rear, and it may not even be this car. Yeah. Be this one. There we go. Let's get things into forward there, and let's go and validate this order real quick. I'll have a quick glance around this yard just to make sure we're not missing anything. There's a little bridgeway there. That's pretty cool. there's quite a lot to steel mill, and it's yeah, I do enjoy it. Do like looking around it. I think previously there was a loco over here, and I think that's where that piece of scrap is now. It's funny, like in the spawn points, you usually find scrap if there isn't a loco there. I'm trying to think where the other one was. I'd have to rewatch that playthrough, and I'm not entirely too sure exactly where the other one was. It might have been even here. I'm not sure. Right, let's validate. Let's hit the rails. So there we go. So we are heading eventually up to Iron Ore Mine West. We'll be going into the B yard, B7S. I'm going to quickly dash down here. We'll get ourselves to Machine Factory first. Just make sure this is connected up nicely, yeah. Check the brakes as well, actually. Yeah, always got to check that because very easy to miss it. Right, so I'm going to put some throttle on and release the brakes. And I'll quickly just take a look at the switches now. So heading out of here, I said we'll go this way. And then up this very steep sort of part, which is very bad if you've got a lot of weight on, and then round this way up to Machine Factory. So we will be going through Forestry Central. And let's go through B Yard. Like that. What's the grinding noise? Yeah, we're getting a bit of a grinding noise there. It's a bit weird. I don't know whether it's because I was stood down there. Seems to have stopped now anyway. Right, so we are heading up the track to the right in just a moment. We've got a 60 limit here, so we'll accelerate. Yeah, nice light load here, so this hill shouldn't be any problem. So 60 into the switch, but then it's going to get, the speed limit's going to decrease here quite a bit. So 60 initially and 70, but yeah, you can see the track. I mean, it swings right round to the left and then it's going to get tighter. So dropping again to 60 here. Keep the power on. Passing farm. Drop into 40. Hang on. Got to manage the speed here a bit. Couldn't imagine derailing going uphill. That would be highly embarrassing. Cutting through these bushes, 40. I think this is probably the steepest part. See, even with this small amount of weight on, we're really not gaining any speed just yet. Just starting to now again. I do want to take a look at our house actually. So there's a house on the map that's available to use basically. I have no idea what's there, and I can't remember if I've actually looked or not before, or whether it was like so underwhelming that I just haven't been back. But it is coming up on the right, so we could take a quick look really. There is a switch as well, so should we have a quick look? I mean, it's not even on this, so... Yeah, 60 limit, it says here, but it's actually 20, so... We can actually stop anywhere here. I'll put brakes on. See, like, that's the end of the track, so it's very, very short little run. Let's just stop here. And let's go see what it's all about. Alright, so we've got a tool shed. And an interestingly broken tree. What's in here? So we've got a bin. Okay. We do have a bed to sleep in, which is nice. You can sleep in your own bed if you choose. Got a bathroom. Nothing functions in here by the looks of things. Although we do have nice clean towels provided. There is a sofa, but you can't sleep on it. There's a telephone there and a place to sit. Can we pick up any of this? Press unbound to take. Unbound. Well, it's our place, I guess. You could take these with you, really, I guess. If you really wanted to. But yeah, I guess that's it. There's not too much going on. Bunch of cups. We'll leave a bunch of washing up for ourselves the next time we come. Although these things will most likely just spawn back to where they were. But there we go. There's a box up there. It's always useful. I didn't even know that was there. Can we put this in our tool shed? Because I don't think it wants to, does it? Oh, there we go. So we could put our licenses in here. Maybe. Now, yeah, it's not actually a receptacle. Oh well. It was worth a look. Not too much to write home about though. Let's hop up here. We'll reverse up. They say home is where the heart is. Well, I'm not too sure about that one. We'll reverse up here and get this switch thrown and get back on our way. Alright, 50 limit. Got the feeling of like where you reverse off your drive and then you boot the car off down the road. They're pulling away. Right, 30 limit here. I always forget about that. Now it is either uphill. Yeah, it must be uphill here because it's downhill coming out of forestry if you were to... Oh, I keep pressing the F key by accident. Right, let's hop back in. So let's put a bit of brakes on here. So a bit of downhill and then a bit of uphill, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Although this does look downhill, doesn't it? We are losing speed though, so I think we are going uphill. Goes to show you never can tell. In fact, the only way to really know is with the inclinometer, although I will say it's still difficult to tell. We're gaining speed again, even though I've got no power on. And again, 30 is the speed limit on the switch. We do have a decent amount of brakes on here, and we're still gaining a little bit. Roll it back off. Alright, 40 limit through here, either track. Obviously, that track swings back round and loops, so we are taking the route through B yard. We'll run straight through the centre, which I think is like the main line through here, really. Okay, so Forestry Central is where we unlock the DM3, and we utilise the DM3 for a few jobs, which was quite fun. I wonder if there's anything going out of here. Heading to Machine Factory. Let's have a quick look. If I remember rightly, the door's on this side. Oh, it's on this one. Have a quick look. So there is some empty cars. It's only 4,000. Probably not worth it. Get back aboard. Alright, so at this point, start to get sweaty palms really. As I remember during my standard difficulty playthrough, my unfortunate accident towards the end, where I crashed the 282. It was the only crash in the whole of the playthrough, and it occurred coming out of the tunnel which we're about to go into. And on the other side, I was turning right coming out of there. Oh, hold on. Please don't derail. Okay, failed to switch that switch, but I've managed there. We've got the 060 there. Yeah, I was driving the 282 through the tunnel, gaining speed, and basically, this part here, didn't expect that to be quite as tight as what it is, and ended up going down there and into the water with a bunch of cars, including the 282 itself. Thankfully, I did have the, I think it was the DH4 I had with me. At the back, if I remember rightly. Ended up using the DH4 for the rest of the job. We did actually rescue the 282 as well and take it on to food. Was it Food Factory? I think I took it up to Food Factory. And yeah, basically fixed it up. Well, it didn't even cost that much actually. I was quite surprised. Alright, so as you can see, we're gaining speed here. We're currently 40 odd. It's actually 40, so goodness knows how fast I was going in the 282. 50 for us going round to the left. As you can see though, it's kind of tight there. I ended up going down there, which wasn't great. Yeah, actually, somehow managed to avoid all the trees and ended up under the bridge and into the water. Alright, we're gaining speed, but it's okay. Everything's coming around nicely. Got a 70 limit here. Everything's downhill here by the looks of things. Got a bit of a straight track. We are about here, heading round up to past Coal Power Plant next. 90 limit. When we go into Machine Factory, we'll be going into the C yard and then into Loading Bay, which is C1L, to pick up our piece, and then we'll head on to Iron Ore Mine West. With this little delivery, B7S. Right, okay. Gained quite a lot of speed there, 65. And we've got a 70 limit, so as far as that goes, everything's all good. We are going to be filtering round to the right. We've got an 80 limit here, but can't imagine that's going to last. I think it's 50 or 60 on the switch. Beautiful body of water. See those trees dissolving. I don't mind that, to be fair, though. I'd prefer that to things just popping in and out. Although some foliage is being drawn in there as we're going. So 60 on the switch, and then I think it'll be 50 or 50 probably as we swing round. I can't see from here. I was going to say something and I can't remember what it is. 50, I think that is. So everything's going nicely. I do wish you could, that's what I was going to say, I do wish there was a train wash would be fantastic to get some of the dirt off these windows. Right, okay, limit is 50, and as you can see we've dropped down naturally to 40, so just apply a little bit of power. Got a slight hill, and then we'll be climbing up. Let's check as well. For Iron Ore Mine West, sorry, Coal Power Plant, this switch needs to be to the right, which is it is, because we come in here. If that makes sense, you'll see it in just a moment. 100 kilometers here, so let's bit of power on. But yeah, we do have a 60 and then a 50 limit, I think it is, when we pass Coal Power Plant. Again, 50 or 60. Stronger climb here. Alright, we'll keep things moving. We'll get ourselves into Machine Factory, and then I think what would be really good is to head up to Iron Ore Mine West, and we'll bring with us the DE5 when we head back down to City South. Probably try and find some jobs along the way. So again, 60 limit. Get a bit more power on here. Okay, we do have still a decent climb going on. Full throttle and temperature warning. Approaching 70, so we'll just keep it like this. So there we go, we're into the red, so I'll just ease off a bit. We're almost there now anyway. Hear the fans. So I've just killed the power entirely there because we're coasting nicely. We're going to need to put some brakes on in a sec. So the temperature's come back down. Let's get some brakes on. We do have a 50 limit here actually, so let it come round pretty quick actually. 50. There we go. Okay, a bit more brakes because we are coming to a stop in a sec. Okay, swinging round into C yard. And there we go. So I'll drive to the end of here and then we'll use a little machine thing. Actually, I won't drive to the end. I'll put the brakes on here. There's the brakes on and the compressor's kicked in to replenish the brake line. We'll hop down. Alright, so I'm going to throw this handle and... actually, what I'll do is, I will pull forward a bit so we can see it. Mind you, this thing could move at some point. Right, there we go. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw this handle. I'm going to load. And there we go. So we've got our part. And there we go, our box is on there, which is our part for our DH4. So that's all done. That's the drivetrain in there. And we will be taking that back. In fact, it tells us here, DH4 drivetrain. And yeah, really excited to get that back, obviously, to City South. But in the meantime, we're going to finish off this job. But this will be next episode. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a blast. And I'm really looking forward to getting cracking with completing this drop-off in the next episode. So without further ado, guys, if you've enjoyed it, please do hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe to the channel. If you want to be notified of up-and-coming videos, please do hit the notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, guys, please do take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you guys again soon.